Hi everyone, in this video I'm going to be demonstrating parameters passed by value versus those that are passed by reference. I've got two functions, one that returns an integer and one that returns a double. In this second one, what happens here is we are returning the number that we passed multiplied by itself. But what if I decide to make the change within this function? Say that I wanted to say this number is equal to this number multiplied by itself. So sort of like we're looking for a permanent change. But this has to be now a void since we are not returning a double anymore. And so what happens here is I just want to, perhaps instead of calling this, so I would just say this value is equal to 7.7. And then before calling the function, so let me just make a different statement over here. So let's just put that there just for explaining purposes. We're talking about this part over here. So before calling the function, and we'll just print it out. And then what we'll do is we will call the function, because it's a void function, I can just call it like that. I don't have to capture the result of anything. And pass this value. So we expect that a change happens within this function over here. And let's see what happens when we, after calling the function. After calling the function, let's look at it. And maybe I'll have one inside as well and say, inside the function. And print out this. So let's just compile and see what this looks like. So far, no problems, which is good. Okay, so let's look. Right now over here, the number is doubled. Okay, so that's coming from our first one, the integer one, so we can ignore that one. But we're looking at these lines over here. So before calling the function, the value is 7.7. Good, that's what we expect. Then inside the function, the value is doubled to 59.29. Good. But then we come back after we've called the function somewhere here. After calling the function, the value is 7.7. So nothing has changed. This means that whatever change that happened inside this definition was only local to this function. And when we've returned, no changes happen to the actual number. This is what we call by passing by value. The value here was passed as a copy, not as an actual, not to the original value itself. So when we pass this number, we pass this value to it. So whatever happens within this function is working on a local copy. So when we come back, this value is not really affected because we haven't really passed the value itself. We've passed a copy of it. But if we want to pass a reference to it, that's what we call a pass by reference. So all I need to do is add the ampersand sign over here and over here. That's all I need to do. So what we've done here is we've passed it by reference. So they both point to the same variable. Let's see what happens now when we run the program. Great. So before calling the function, it was 7.7. So good. This is working like we want it to. Inside the function, it becomes 59.29, which is something we understand. But what we care about is when we come back. Has the number been really changed? And yes, it has, because now we've actually passed it by reference. So if you want the value to change, when you pass this value to a function, make sure to pass it by reference by adding the ampersand sign. Okay? But if you just wanted to not have the value being affected, but you still wanted a number back, maybe you can change the function to a function that returns a value. Because otherwise, if you've passed it by value, whatever happens within the function is local, or whatever change you do to that variable, if we are not using the ampersand there, that means any changes that happen here is just local to this function. And the minute we step out, everything's gone. Okay, so I hope this helps you understand what pass by value and pass by reference mean. And I hope that helps you decide which one to use depending on your program. I'll see you in the next one.